had cases of accidents, often time, back and forth, because of this kind of routes. What is your thought about situations like this?
Well, first, I want to thank God that from the news we didn't lose the mother, and neither did we lose the baby. As much as it is an unfortunate situation,
okay,
not a healthy practice that one will have to give birth in such a circumstance. So I'm grateful to God that they survived it, but then we must look at the issues because it came very unfortunate.
Yes.
We won't blame the lady that she's due and she had to go for what she needed to go for. That would not matter if the road were good. All right, and looking at those issues, we must understand that government needs to do a lot to ensure that we prioritize the welfare of citizens. That's the essence of government, to provide and to protect the rights of citizens, ensure that their basic amenities are the least, so that people can have the liberty to go about their lives unhindered. People could make progress, people could make trips. I personally have driven through this road, and I tell you, whether you're pregnant or not, you would not survive the tumor, of riding through. I'm telling you, riding through that kind of road. First of all, it poses a great threat to your vehicle. The tendency of having a damaged vehicle is 100%.
Considering the fact that there are high, expensive rates of vehicle spare parts right now.
I'm telling you, so the consequences are huge. The damage on your car is certain. I can tell you for free. Number two, the health risk, just as we've seen. Because people do not understand, physically you don't see everything that happens to your body per time.
Yes.
You may not understand the consequences of certain actions. This is a pregnant woman, we can see the consequences. But do you know that everybody in that vehicle, one way or the other, would have had an impact, a negative impact, consequent on the bad road? Now, some months ago, I was to be in Calabar. I had to travel through the river in Akwa Ibom to avoid that bad road. I got to Akwa Ibom and then boarded a ferry to Calabar just to be able to avoid that bad road. And it took me a longer time to be able to do that. Imagine the stress to do that. So this issue has been, and I expect that the government of Akwa Ibom and Cross River would come together. It's a federal road, but intervene and fix it and go back to federal government to say this is what we have spent. Because a broad majority of persons who commute on that road are from Akwa Ibom and Cross River.
Yes.
So what's the essence of having a government that would not place priority on the interest and welfare of our people?
Okay.
And if you watch the names, they are Akwa Ibomites, from the same place. So I think that government needs to sit up. We need to have those who have conscience and power, because this has to do with human life and all that associates with it.
Thank you very much, Dumezo. What's your thoughts about this, Mufasa?
Well, let me also join my friend here to say that it's a good thing that both the baby and the mother, that they're in safe condition. But then again, he has actually made some very valid position, by saying that if not that we have a failure of leadership on the part of government, both state and federal government, even as much as that is a federal road, I'm sure we will not be having to discuss this today.
Yeah.
You could imagine if the baby had not survived or the mother had died in the process. Maybe this would not be the wake-up call. We always like to be proactive. When something bad has happened, that's when you see the government coming to
Do you
show
think
concern.
this would have been a wake-up call, because there have been incidents of accidents happening on the road before this happened?
Yeah, of course. We've had cases where vehicles had accidents and all of that. But this one that has to do with a pregnant woman and the baby and all of that, this one really, it sends a wider, what I'll call alarm or signal, to the extent that there's nobody that will want to hear that a pregnant woman had to go through all this stress, to give birth to a child on the road. And I'm sure that even the vehicle would not have enough space for the woman to, settle down and give birth. So it is really an unfortunate and pathetic situation. So if nothing would call the attention of government to see to the state of that road and ensure that that road is put in perfect working condition. I'm not sure anything will be a wake-up call for them.
I would love to ask, what consequence do you think this deployed road has on the economy?
You know what, easy is so much. There's no gain trying to begin to mention them. You understand, Calabar is a very popular town. We know of series of activities that, you know, happen in Calabar, especially now that we're in the Yuletide period. People want to get prepared for Calabar, Carnival, and all of that. And these things have their own economic value, you know. People come in from both within and outside the country. They ply the roads, they lodge in hotels, they patronize businesses. So it's, if these things continue to happen this way, a lot of people will be discouraged. Like you said, you have to go through, you know, the ferry. You know, and it's not everybody that have the kind of mind that my friend Dumezo has. Like myself, I'll be too scared because I'm aware of...
So would you prefer to travel on such bad roads than use a safer means, even though it's on a long route?
I'll prefer to travel on a good road, because it's not rocket science. These things are not, it's not a big deal. It's not that we have, you know, leadership deficits. You don't need to have this kind of situation before government know that they need to do what is right and proper. That road has been in that condition for longer a time. Now, look at what has happened. So it's just an embarrassing situation. If they don't want to fix the road, they just tell them they're not ready for leadership.
Let me hold your thoughts on that, please, Mufasa. But I'd love to ask them as well. Why do you think...
they could simply have a discussion with the president to prioritize that road? They can. I know how politics works. And
then this is not actually the only road that has called to a thing of concern. There are other roads in the south and the south.
There are several. Even in River State,
been affected. Yes.
Even in River State, if you look at the east-west road, the Akpajo axis, you know, we had fire incidents there that got a lot of vehicles damaged and people were burnt. So there are a plethora of cases we could make reference to, arising from bad routes, and people are not giving alternatives. Because if you say you want to take through the river, you're spending twice the money and your safety is not even guaranteed. So it's recklessness on the between those from Akwa